Hello everybody, it's Tarun. Welcome to your 25th tutorial in the CSS for presentation course. So in this tutorial I'll start with keyframe animation. Okay, obviously I have barely scratched the surface of what can be done with 3D transforms, but it should give you a decent mental model for how it works. Okay, so next up we'll start with animations. So the CSS animations module allows author to create real, honest to goodness keyframe animation. Unlike transitions that go from one state to another, keyframe animation allows you to explicitly specify other states at points along the way, allowing you for more granular control of the action. Those points along the way are established by keyframes that define the beginning or end of an segment of animation. CSS transitions are animations with two keyframes. First is a start state and second is an end state. More complex animations may require many keyframes to control property change in the sequence. Creating keyframe animation is complex, but more than I can cover here. But I would like for you to have some idea of it. How does it work? So I'll sketch out the minimum details. So I'll just tell you for some of the material details where you can go ahead and look for more material on keyframe animations more. Okay, these are the 4 links or books, you can say. A masterclass in CSS animations by Estelle Vale, and I have provided the link also. Then we have guide to CSS animation principles and examples. And then we have Rich Bradshaw's tutorials using CSS3 transitions, transforms and animation. And then we can also go to this website. Okay, so here Anthony Katzela has done groundbreaking work in CSS animation, including the walking at it and CSS3 man animations, which were ahead of their time. His site has links to animation examples and general news from the CSS world. He runs an occasional CSS animations tutorial as well. So I'll just show you one figure, okay, so which consists of the thing walking at it and CSS 3-man animation. So let me just show you the figure now. So these are the things which I was talking about. Okay, if you want to use CSS animations but lack wherewithal to learn and code it yourself, there are tools that give you a timeline interface for creating your animations and generate the HTML and CSS for you. Okay, so I'll show you few links also for that animation tools. Okay, so these are the links. Okay, for animation tools. So now we'll establish the keyframes. The animation process has 2 parts. First, establish the keyframes with the @ keyframes rule. Okay, and then add animation properties to the element that will be animated. So here is a very simplistic set of keyframes that changes the background color of an element over time. It is not a very action-packed animation, but it should give you a basic understanding of what @ keyframe rule does. Okay. So this is the example which I am talking about. So when the keyframe rule says is that create an animation sequence called colors. At the beginning of the animation, the background color of the element should be red. At 20% though the animation runtime, the background color should be orange, and so on until it reaches the end of the animation. The browser fill in all the shades of the color in between. Okay, in between each keyframe. So each percentage value and the property value declaration defines the keyframe in the animation sequence. In addition to percentage, you could also use the keywords from at the start of an animation sequence and to denote the end. So first of all, I'll show you the keyframe colors. Okay, so let's save it and see in our browser. So I'm sorry, nothing's happening. Okay, I'll just show you figure in which you'll understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'll show you the figure now first. So this is the animating through the colors of the rainbows using keyframes. Okay, so now we'll move forward to the next topic, which is adding animation properties. This is the last topic of this unit. Okay, so we'll start now with adding animation properties. Now we can apply this animation sequence to an element or multiple elements in the document using a collection of animation properties that are very similar to the set of transition properties that you already know. I'm going to apply the rainbow animation to the magic div in my document. Okay, so this will be the div ID. So in the CSS rule for hash magic, I can make some decisions about the animations I want to apply. First is which animation to use, which is animation name, how long it should take, which is animation duration, the manner in which it should accelerate, which is animation timing function, whether to pause before it starts, which is animation delay. Okay, you might be thinking that it is familiar. So there are a few other animation specific properties as well, which are four of them are there. First of all them is how many times it should repeat, which is animation iteration count, whether it plays forward, in reverse, or alternates back and forth, which is animation hyphen direction. Okay, so till now wherever I've used two words, there is a hyphen between them. I forgot to mention that. And the third point here is whether it should be running or paused. The play state can be toggled on and off with JavaScript or on hover, which can be done with the help of animation hyphen play hyphen state. Then the last one is whether to override defaults that prevent properties from applying outside runtime, which can be done with the help of animation hyphen fill hyphen mode. The animation name property tells the browser which keyframe sequence to apply for the magic div. I've also set the duration and timing function and used animation hyphen iteration hyphen count to make it repeat for infinity. I could have provided a specific number value like 2 to play it twice, but how fun it is only 2 rainbows. Okay, and for fun I set the animation hyphen direction to alternate, which makes the animation play in reverse after it had just played forward. The other options are simple forward or reverse. So here is the resulting rule, style rule for the animated div. Okay, so these are the properties which I was talking about. So this gets a bit verbose, especially when you consider that each one should not be repeated with vendor prefixes for a published site. You can also use the animation shorthand property to combine the values just as we did for the transition. So how you can do that? Okay, this is how you can do it. Those are the bare bones of creating keyframes and applying animations to an element on page. To make elements move around, what we typically think of as an animation, use keyframes to change the position of an element on the screen with the translate transform or top right bottom left properties. When the keyframes are twined, the object will move smoothly from position to position. You can also animate the other transform methods. I hope I have helped you wrap your head around how CSS can be used to add a little motion and smoothness to your pages. It's cool stuff, but remember that it is important to use it with restraint and only as an enhancement on normal sites. If you are showcasing your animation, it might be fine to ask your visitors to upgrade to a supporting browser. So this was all from my side in this unit and in this tutorial. In the next tutorial, I'll start with the last unit, which is CSS techniques. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next tutorial.